Hey guys, I'm Kristen with ISeeStarsQuilting.com. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you are here with me today. I have a special thing to unbox and some things that I would like to explain, as this is a brand that has been showing up a lot in my YouTube feed. I've had a lot of feedback on people who have gotten the box as well. Also, another thing that has been brought up to me is the quality of the fabric. I've had some people who have messaged me very disappointed in it. I have some words on that, so we'll come back to that in just a minute. So we're gonna open this Mrs. Quilty box right here, and I'm going to explain a little bit to you how their box subscriptions work. So right when you open up the box, you get this Quilt, Laugh, Love right here on the top. Makes it really fun and cute. These boxes are perfect for storing your projects that you are making with this box, okay? So the kind of signature thing with Mrs. Quilty boxes is you get this magazine that really helps you through your quilting journey, okay? So if you are like an expert quilter and you're just looking to kind of beef up your stash a little bit, this is not right for you, okay? If you're a beginner quilter who is still struggling with those beginner things and you don't have somebody around to help you through those moments and those trials in the early parts of your quilting journey, right? This might be something that you want to watch, okay? So you get this magazine with every single one of the Mrs. Quilty boxes. And let me show you this page right here. Do you see this right here? There's 10 boxes that every subscription goes through, okay? You get one a month, okay? And this right here is the price per month on the quilting boxes when you start your subscription, okay? So right now, this is box number 1, okay? And that's what I wanna show you, is I wanna show you box number 1 so that you understand how this process works, okay? It's not a randomized subscription box. It's not an everybody gets the same thing every month subscription box, but it's more of a process to lead you through learning how to quilt, okay? So in this box, it's going to show you what it is that you're going to be learning, okay? So you're going to be learning from the beginner side all the way to the advanced side by the time you are hitting these advanced boxes. Every box comes with multiple projects for you to work on with the fabrics that are included in your kit, which this right here is the fabrics that are included with this kit. So even if these colors are not quite your thing, right? I love the butterflies, I love the flowers, I love a good polka dot. So, you know, I can work with this, and these may not be things that I want to display in my home consistently, but I know that these projects are designed to be skill builders, okay? These aren't designed to be like your, you know, forever and ever quilts and projects, right? These are skill builders. You are learning with these projects, okay? And going back to our magazine here, looking at the projects that we have, these are the projects that we're working on this month. So we have a block of the month, a quilt as you go mug rug, a quilted placemat, and a colorful pot holder. This box does not include absolutely everything for these projects. It's not really a complaint, but it's just an observation, more or less. Some other boxes do include absolutely everything you need to make that quilt project. You don't have to go shopping, you don't have to do anything. This is not one of those boxes, okay? I would love to do some explaining, if you will allow me to kind of give you a little bit more insight on the subscription box business, who they're for. I've had people ask me, what's the best subscription box to go for? You know, who has the best prices? Which subscription box is right for me, right? There's a lot that goes into that question, and what I have a hard time explaining when somebody asks me that is, well, I can give you that answer, but it depends on the answers that you have to the questions that I'm going to provide you with. One thing that I want to point out when you're looking at a subscription box is if you're focusing on the final price and you want that lower dollar ticket, there's going to be some things that you're going to have to come to terms with. Let's just put it that way, okay? You can't have absolutely everything included and have the lower price. You just can't have it both ways, quality and quantity and all of that. You're going to have to pay for the, you know, everything included, or get on like a bigger subscription box list for that. There are some things that you need to purchase to complete these projects, but how amazing is this to give as a gift to a friend who is interested in getting crafty, interested in sewing, but not quite ready to like stock their entire house with quilting items? As we know happens, as soon as you get that quilting bug, you start wanting to buy fabric, you start buying fabric on sale, you start doing all of these fun things, and then you realize, I don't know what I'm doing. So this is the box that is going to kind of help you through that process, okay? I showed you the different projects that we can make. These are actually really gorgeous. In these descriptions here, it shows you step by step how to make them. It gives you a lot of knowledge as you're going through as well, because it teaches you all of the acronyms that are famous in the quilting world for sometimes looking almost like an entirely different language, because you know, when you're starting out, there's so much that you don't know, there's so much that you don't understand, and this goes through and it makes it very, very easy to follow along. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. As I was reading through this book, I could imagine like early me quilter absolutely loving getting my hands on this magazine, because I didn't feel stupid reading it. I don't know what everything means, and I feel like I'm reading a book that's too advanced for me. like I have to go and Google some of the words so I can go back and understand what the book is saying, you know what I mean? And I didn't feel that way in this book. So that is one really good thing in here that I enjoyed, and all of the diagrams and everything make it so easy to figure out, as well as there is all of the other things that you do need to purchase to complete these blocks. It's nothing crazy. These are very easy beginner projects with this first box. And then as you move forward, it moves with you and they get slightly more complicated. You start to learn new things. Like I showed you on that first page, you're going to learn the beginner steps and the beginner tools, and then you're going to move into the intermediate steps and the intermediate skills that you're going to need, and finally you're going to go all the way to the expert tools and things that you need to know to be a good quilter. They also included some free gifts in this box along with the fabric that make me like know that I'm being taken care of, that I'm being taken care of by a company who understands what it is that I need and the tools that I need. Okay, so we got a round of pins here. These are just your standard sewing pins with the cute little plastic ball heads on them. And then we also got this beautiful ruler. Okay, it actually is clear. It has the film on it to keep it from getting scratched in the package, but this is actually a nice clear ruler that has all of the markings on it that will be helpful in making all of these projects. You know, I say this all the time, having the right tools makes a difference, okay? I get not wanting to spend a ton of money in the beginning when you're not sure if you're gonna take on this craft and go like fully head first into it. So when you're having to compensate again and again and again for like pre-made tools, and I did this in the beginning too, so if I'm feels like I'm speaking right at you, it's only from a place of love. When you're having to compensate with like cardboard templates and pieces that you've cut out, and like you're trying to draw and you're cutting with scissors instead of a rotary cutter, all of that, it makes more room for error. So a company that is willing to send you the tools that you need to get you through and help you through these projects is pretty neat. The other thing that I want to show you is in the very back of this book. One, there's a recipe for oatmeal cookies for crafting breaks. I love that. I think that's really fun. And then there is a paragraph in here that tells you what your next box is going to be. What can you look forward to in your next box? So it's not a complete and total surprise, right? So you got an idea of what's coming next too. This feels like somebody is kind of holding your hand as you get yourself a little present every single month, and it's going to walk you through how to make this. And it's something that you can totally do on your own. But if you feel like you can't do it on your own, they also have a social media community on Facebook that you can join and get help from other people and just kind of have that community that's working on the same projects and the same level of quilting as you are. Okay, I promised that I would come back and do kind of a review on the actual fabric content of the Mrs. Quilty fabrics, and I have to say this, I'm a very fair judge of fabric, okay? I know my fabrics, I know the makeups, I deal with it quite a lot, and I'm going to be straight up honest with you in this, that just because something feels cheap doesn't necessarily mean that it is, okay? It could, but just because you're like, oh, this feels like it's like not 100% cotton. And I want to ask you this real quick. So have you ever gone and bought bed sheets, right? There's lots of different thread counts that you can buy when it comes to bed sheets. Now, there are bed sheets that will fit a twin bed that costs $40, $50, $60 on up, $100, right? It matters with the thread content and the thread count. Fabric is the same way. So if you march yourself down to like Dollar Tree or Dollar General, somewhere like that, and you pick up fat quarters from there, which are perfectly good fabrics, and I've made quilts myself out of those really cheap fabrics. I've made projects and bags and things because I love the print on them. They work just fine. They work great, okay? They are a little bit starchier. They don't have quite as much thread count to them, so they feel a little bit thinner, a little bit more cheaper, I guess you could say, but it doesn't mean that they're not 100% cotton. So the fabrics that are in the Mrs. Quilty boxes are 100% cotton. The fabric is designed in the United States, but the fabric facilities that actually make the fabric are in the Republic of China, okay? So the fabric's being made overseas. That should not surprise a good deal of you, okay? Because a lot of the fabric companies and a lot of the big textile industries are overseas now, okay? A lot of fabric is being printed over there and shipped back here to the United States to be sold. Why? We're not gonna get into that, okay? That's not what I want this to be about, okay? What I want to tell you though is it's not uncommon in this industry to have fabric printed overseas and brought back over here. That's just how it works. So this fabric was printed in the Republic of China, brought back for Mrs. Quilty, and now it's in our boxes. These are fat quarter pieces, so they're nice, good size that you have the availability to cut out of to make the projects that are in the box, but it is 100% cotton fabric. So my final review on the Mrs. Quilty box and my final thoughts on the matter for all subscription boxes are, if you love it and it sounds like something that is speaking to you, I think it's great. I think you should totally go ahead and invest in a box that makes you happy, okay? This one has a little bit of a surprise element to it because I didn't know what fabrics were gonna be included in this. I do love the blues. I think that it's very fun. It has the book that is going to give you that foundation of a quilty education and walk you through the steps of making some smaller projects, okay? If your very first quilt tends to be a king size quilt, you know what? I think you're wonderful. I think you're awesome. A lot of people, that's extremely overwhelming. Okay, it's an investment in money, it's an investment in time, it's an investment in your own mental health because you're gonna go crazy if you don't know what you're doing on that quilt. But you know, if you want something that's going to walk you through, that's going to help you with the quilting process, the sewing process, getting to know your machine and everything, this is a perfect box to start with. And if you want your own Mrs. Quilty box, make sure you check out the links in the description box down below. Their website has a lot of really fun things on it that will help you along in your quilting journey. I know you can't see the rest of my sewing room right now, but I just finished putting some binding on a bunch of different quilts that needed binding put on them, kind of like just this binding marathon, and my quilt room looks like something exploded. So I will catch you next week here on my channel, same day, same time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm Kristen with ISeeStarsQuilting.com. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.